Good morning, everyone. Our apologies for being slightly detained, so we're running a little bit behind time. My name is Rory Quinn. I'm the chairperson of the Institute for International and European Affairs, and this is the second of a 5-series interview presentation by party leaders. Taoiseach, you are here on behalf of the Fine Gael Party, and you are more than welcome, and you now have the floor.
Thanks, Rory. Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to you on this historic day. 16 years ago in Dublin, we had a day of welcomes as we marked the formal accession of 10 new countries into the European Union under the Irish presidency. That day, 75 million people became EU citizens, and it was a transformative moment for our union and our continent. Back then, we would never have foreseen the day that one of our member states would leave us. However, that day has arrived, and it is today. We gather to discuss Ireland and the European Union after Brexit, knowing, of course, that Brexit is still not done. We're now entering a period of transition as the negotiations commence on a new partnership, a new alliance, a new bespoke relationship between the European Union and the United Kingdom. When I met with Michel Barnier on Monday, we were united in our belief that we will begin this new phase in a positive spirit, determined to secure the best outcome for Ireland and for the European Union and our future. So tonight, when the clock strikes 11 p.m, the United Kingdom will leave the European Union. We'll say goodbye to an old friend, embarking on adventure, their own tryst with destiny. We do hope it works out for them, but if it does not, there will always be a seat for the United Kingdom at the European table. As for us, I'm ambitious about the future EU-UK relationship, but I also think we need to be realistic about the dangers. We need to start this new relationship between the EU and the UK on a firm and honest footing, and that means a level playing field. This is very much in Ireland's interests, as well as that of the Union as a whole. So what does a level playing field mean? It means common minimum standards on workers' rights, health and safety, the environment, animal welfare, crucially state aids, as well as product and food standards, and has been the European norm, minimum standards that rise over time, not fall. I think this morning is an opportunity for all of us to remember what Europe stands for and where we go from here. The idea of Europe has always been inspired by a spirit of optimism and a belief in a better future. Europe allowed us here in Ireland to take our place among the nations of the world. So today is bittersweet for all of us who believe in the idea of a united Europe. Our sadness, however, is tempered by what we have seen over the past 3 years. And although the European Union has been tested in the past decade by the rise of populism, the financial crisis and Brexit, it did not break. And in fact, in my view, has come through stronger and more united than ever. Today, we're particularly grateful to the European member states for their solidarity and support during the recent Brexit negotiations. And I'm glad to see some EU ambassadors here today, and I hope you'll convey our words of thanks back to your capitals. What we saw over the past 3 years is proof positive that small countries benefit from membership of the European Union. We don't get swallowed up. Rather, we are partners. So this morning is an opportunity to remember what a united Europe stands for as we imagine the Europe of the future. The ideals of European unity, freedom, peace and solidarity, are perhaps best expressed in the words of Schiller, put to music by Beethoven, proclaiming our shared values and our unity in diversity. They suggest that the abiding friendship can transcend human frailties and weaknesses and help us to achieve something much greater. I'm struck by the fact that over the past few years, we've seen again the power of an abiding friendship in action. A friendship that brought peace, reconciliation and prosperity to Europe, and has helped to protect peace here in Ireland as we went through this first difficult phase of Brexit. The UK leaving is not a cause of celebration for us. There will be no issuing of commemorative coins for this event. But we do celebrate the solidarity that has been shown by our EU partners, and we say thank you to our fellow Europeans. Over the past 2.5 years, I've travelled across Europe, meeting fellow heads of state and government to discuss Brexit and the challenges it has brought to the island of Ireland. I think I've been in every Prime Minister's office at this stage, and if I haven't been in theirs, they've been in mine. And I'll never forget the reaction of the people I met, those who inquired every time we met about the progress of Brexit, what I thought would happen next, and wondered what it would mean for my country. Those who worried about peace on the island of Ireland, those who came here to visit the border area, and the kindness of those who shared our concern and wished us well. And I have to say, I was humbled by their generosity of spirit and the evidence in every European city of how international interests had replaced narrow national ones. So today we say thank you to the European leaders in our member states and also to the EU institutions, the Parliament, the Council and the Commission, who made Irish concerns their own and stood with us to achieve a deal that protects the hard-earned peace on the island of Ireland. We say thank you to the people of Europe who understood our fears and took our hopes and concerns into their own hearts. European unity started as an idea. It became a dream and then became a reality. The solidarity and abiding friendship we've received over the past 3 years is further proof that that European dream is durable. It can withstand whatever is thrown at it, and it is strengthened by coming through trials together. And with the ongoing rise of populism and nationalism in many European countries, there will be more trials in the future, I believe. As Taoiseach, I've seen the strength and unity of the European Union and how much we can achieve when all member states, all 27 of us, think together, work together and have common objectives and goals. When Europe acts as one, it is a truly powerful force for good in the world. United we stand, but divided we achieve little. So the next step is to negotiate a future relationship, including a free trade agreement between the European Union, including Ireland, and the UK, one that protects jobs, businesses, rural and coastal communities, and our economies generally. The UK would like to see a trade deal this year, and I believe that is possible, particularly if the new trade deal brings about arrangements that are very similar to the current ones. It will be difficult, though. But in the withdrawal agreement, there is an option that the Joint Committee can agree an extension if needs be. Now, I know the British government has ruled that out, but it is still there in the withdrawal agreement, should the British government and the EU come together in a Joint Committee and decide that an extension is needed. On our side, we know it's going to be a pretty rocky couple of months. The European Council at the end of March is going to be crucial in that regard, and we need to get down to business very quickly, trying to get the trade deal which is essential for the Irish economy, and of course for Britain's. We want free trade with the UK, with no tariffs, no taxes, no quotas, and as little bureaucracy and as few checks as possible. But no matter what happens, there will be some bureaucracy and there will be checks, because things cannot be as they were before. I'm adamant that our future partnership with the UK must go beyond trade. It needs to cover a broad range of issues, including fisheries, for example, security, our universities, cooperation on research and economics generally. I'm confident that we can get a good deal. And the good news is that I don't think the two parties are actually that far apart, further apart in rhetoric than in substance. The EU on the one hand, and Britain on the other, broadly agree that we want there to be no quotas, no tariffs, no taxes, and the minimum amount of bureaucracy and checks possible. And that's really important in Ireland for our exporters, our businesses, our agri-food sector, our rural economy, our coastal communities, and the 200,000 people in all parts of Ireland whose jobs depend on trade with the UK. However, we have to be realistic about the dangers as well. A failure to secure a trade deal would be a major threat and an existential threat to our economy in 2021. So we do need that deal. The whole idea of a level playing field is important because there's a genuine concern across the European Union that part of the motivation behind Brexit, or at least for some people who are behind Brexit, was for the UK to undercut us or outbid us in terms of state aids, environmental standards, labour standards, product standards, food standards, and all of those things. When I met with Prime Minister Johnson in Belfast recently, he reassured me that this was not the case, that was not the kind of United Kingdom that he wanted to lead as Prime Minister. But we need that written down in law so that there aren't misunderstandings in future. And we need a mechanism to adjudicate disputes and enforce those adjudications. Today, I think, is also an opportunity to reflect, to think a little bit beyond Brexit, and to think about the future of our European Union. Past generations, I believe, knew instinctively that a united Europe was a good idea. They knew it could bring an end to centuries of war in our continent, that it provided a pathway for peace, democracy and the rule of law, for free markets and prosperity after the horrors of World War II. Particularly those who lived on continental Europe said no more war, and the European Union allowed France and Germany and other states to put aside generations of conflict in favour of cooperation. And for those who lived behind the Iron Curtain in Central and Eastern Europe, the European Union was always the light, the hope, the possibility that communism could be defeated and democracy, the rule of law and the social market economy brought to their countries too. But for younger people, those younger than me, the horrors of World War and the evils of fascism and communism are not in their memory. So to make sure that the next generation continues to hold to that belief in European unity, we need to make sure that Europe has a new project, a new raison d'etre for the future. And I believe that can be by dealing with those challenges that can only be overcome by collective multilateral action. Climate action is first among those, but others include things like security, for example, and the regulation and taxation of large companies, many of which are now larger and more powerful than nation states. In my conversations with President von der Leyen, I've commended her on the leadership she's shown when it comes to the European Green Deal, and assured her that she will have a friend and ally in Ireland in driving that forward. I believe that the European Green Deal isn't just a good environmental policy, it's also a really good economic policy as well. And we should strive as a European Union to be among the first to adopt new technologies, and more importantly, to be the people who invent them. It has the potential to unlock a new wave of investment, innovation, and entrepreneurship to provide the economic opportunity of tomorrow. We face global crises and will be judged in the future by the decisions that we take today. And I endorse the objective of a climate neutral EU by 2050. And we must now ensure that the new EU budget and the work of the European Investment Bank and other bodies is directed towards achieving that goal. This action will help create an opportunity for green growth, new jobs, new businesses, and a cleaner, more biodiverse environment. The transition to a climate neutral Europe will require significant public and private investment. And we're supportive of the plan by the European Investment Bank to invest €1 trillion in climate action and sustainability between 2021 and 2030. There will also need to be a just transition mechanism to assist the regions and industries most affected, regions like our own Midlands, which will be affected as we move out of peat harvesting and burning peat for energy, places like West Clare, but also individuals in particular roles. And while jobs may become redundant as a consequence of climate action, people should never become redundant. We must ensure that they have good severance packages and the opportunity for retraining and new jobs and better jobs in the new economy. Over the coming weeks and months, we'll also have to agree a new EU budget for the next 7 years, the MFF. As a country, we want to see long-established, well-functioning and successful policies, such as the Common Agricultural Policy, CAP, Cohesion, Horizon, Interreg, and Erasmus Plus, to be funded well. We also recognise the need for investment in meeting newer challenges, such as migration, security, and, of course, climate action. And we want to make sure that there's a dedicated funding stream within the European Green Deal for farmers to encourage them and pay them to do the right thing by our environment. We all know that Europe can and does make a difference. For example, we have an agreement already on a special allocation for a Peace Plus programme worth about €100 million for Northern Ireland and the border counties. I think we can push that up a little bit higher, and when you add in contributions from the Irish government and the UK government, it could leverage a package of investment for Northern Ireland and our border counties worth as much as €1 billion over 7 years. And that would be a considerable boost, I think, to Northern Ireland and to the border. So what have we learned from the first phase of Brexit? First, I think we've learned a lot about ourselves, about the quality of our diplomats and our officials in Ireland and in embassies and consulates across Europe, the quality of institutions such as this and other bodies, unions, employers groups that studied Brexit and followed it closely, the quality of our media who reported Brexit so well. We've also learned about the value of having the right team, and I hope you'll join with me in paying tribute to the work of the Taoiseach, Simon Coveney, and Minister McEntee is here as well. But I think most of all, we've learned a lot about our friends in Europe. As the leader of a small country, I felt enormous solidarity from our European partners. So often we were told that the day would come when the big countries would get together and tell us what's what. It never did. Or that I'd be called into a room on a dark night and be told to sacrifice our tax policies or something else in return for solidarity. Not only did that never happen, it was never even hinted at. Sometimes people in small countries believe that by joining a larger union, they can get swallowed up. I think the past few years have demonstrated again that the European Union is a union of nations, as well as a union of peoples, one in which small states are protected and respected. And being at the heart of the European Union doesn't make us one scintilla less Irish. I do profoundly regret that the UK is leaving, but I absolutely respect their decision to do so. I'm certain that no matter what, both Ireland and the EU more broadly, will continue to have an abiding relationship with our nearest neighbour, the UK, a real partnership in terms of politics, security and the economy into the future. Our objectives as Ireland and Europe for the first phase of Brexit have been met. Citizens' rights are protected for those EU citizens living in the UK and for UK citizens living in the European Union. We have a financial settlement. There'll be no hard border on the island of Ireland. The all-island economy will continue to develop, and North-South cooperation, as envisaged by the Good Friday Agreement, can continue to thrive. We've also secured the integrity of the single market and our place in it. To reach an agreement, both sides showed flexibility, and both sides were prepared to compromise at crucial points in time. We each took a leap of faith and trusted in the other to help us to achieve our aims. And I believe this has to be a good sign for the next phase of negotiations, our future relationship, and of things to come. It shows how inspiring the words of the anthem of Europe have become a reality for us in the 21st century. So I look forward with confidence to the future of Ireland and the EU after Brexit. And I do not underestimate the challenges and the risks. But I believe we can meet those challenges and rise to them by working with our European partners. And we can build an ever closer, safer, more prosperous and sustainable future for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Taoiseach. I'm now going to open these proceedings to the floor, and I'll take person there. Name?
Ronan Tynan, a filmmaker and member of the Institute. Taoiseach, I just want to ask you about promoting European values and human rights, which you spoke very eloquently about there. Yesterday, standing in the same position that you are now, I asked Micheál Martin, would he allow his Minister for Foreign Affairs to go to Russia, as Minister Coveney did, and smiling talk about increasing trade with Russia, when, as you're well aware, the EU has sanctioned Russia over the annexation of Crimea, the invasion of the Ukraine, and those sanctions were strengthened, as you're aware, when the Russians shot down MH17, a Malaysian passenger airliner, in which 300 people were killed. But Taoiseach, at that time, which is the reason that I was really upset about that...
Ronan, I think you're coming to a question.
Oh, yeah, question. The question is, Taoiseach, at that time, Taoiseach, the Russians were bombing hospitals in Syria. And the Minister could not have been unaware of that fact. And I would put it to you, as a medical doctor, do you have any words of support and solidarity with medical doctors being bombed in Syria, doing the job you did? And I would put it to you as well, would you not feel a deep sense of betrayal if you had seen Minister Minister Coveney smiling with Lavrov at a time when they are watching their colleagues being murdered and wounded, doing those life-saving jobs that they have in the most dangerous place on earth? Thank you.
Thanks very much. I think you started your question by talking about European values, and I think sometimes people misinterpret the term European values or European way of life, seeing it as some sort of superior thing or almost European nationalist concept. It's not really. Like for me, the European continent is different from other parts of the world, and we do have distinct European values. We have.
Buongiorno a tutti, grazie per la vostra presenza. Ringrazio il Presidente del Consiglio, la Presidente della Commissione per essere con noi oggi. È un giorno particolare per l'Europa perché inizia una stagione nuova. Sapete che oggi a mezzanotte il Regno Unito ufficialmente uscirà e naturalmente dopo 3 anni di lavoro siamo qui anche per un bilancio della discussione che abbiamo avuto con gli amici britannici. Ci siamo resi conto che l'Unione Europea da questa discussione ha ottenuto molti vantaggi, perché si è confermata molto più unita. Abbiamo la consapevolezza di uno spazio europeo prezioso per gli europei ma anche per il mondo e un mercato europeo che naturalmente è il primo mercato economico del pianeta. Abbiamo oggi naturalmente con gli amici britannici da domani da cominciare una discussione che sarà molto impegnativa. Sarà naturale difendere i propri interessi, cercare di farlo con amicizia, con fratellanza e credo che questo auspicio sia anche rivolto a tutti i nostri cittadini, perché abbiamo naturalmente in condizioni diverse da mantenere, da conservare, da proteggere l'identità dell'Europa e l'amicizia con i cittadini britannici. È stato molto utile, molto significativo ieri con il Presidente del Consiglio e la Presidente della Commissione ritrovarci per una giornata di lavoro alla Maison Monnet vicino Parigi, per una discussione molto sincera e molto aperta sulle sfide che ci attendono. Siamo alla vigilia di rivoluzioni importanti, la rivoluzione digitale, il futuro dell'Europa, le questioni di come sviluppare meglio la presenza dell'Unione Europea nella scena geopolitica. Credo che queste sfide siamo non solo in grado di affrontarle, ma di dare ciascuno per le proprie responsabilità un contributo decisivo perché tutto ciò rafforzi la nostra Unione. Abbiamo, dicevo, discusso con grande franchezza e sincerità, abbiamo dei percorsi che l'agenda europea ci sottopone. In particolare abbiamo deciso di prendere sul serio il percorso della conferenza sul futuro dell'Europa, su cui sapete il Parlamento già si è espresso, ma naturalmente adesso con le altre istituzioni abbiamo bisogno di discutere e di precisare meglio obiettivi, organizzazione, ma abbiamo preso l'impegno a far partire questa esperienza per non solo concentrarci sugli strumenti della democrazia, ma anche sulle politiche e naturalmente aprire nei nostri paesi un grande dibattito con le società civili. Abbiamo pensato che siamo ancora in tempo per far partire questo processo a maggio, magari sarebbe molto bello farlo partire il 9 di maggio, che è il giorno dell'Europa. Credo che la giornata di oggi naturalmente segni anche una ferita per tutti noi e anche una domanda viene naturale. Abbiamo fatto tutto il possibile per far capire ai cittadini britannici il valore della loro scelta? Credo che questa domanda sia giusto che le istituzioni europee se la pongano. Naturalmente in questi 3 anni ce l'abbiamo messa tutta per far capire la convenienza dello stare insieme, ma siamo qui anche, come è ovvio, a prendere atto della decisione del popolo britannico e delle istituzioni. È una giornata che entrerà nella storia dell'Unione Europea, ma che consentirà a noi, alle nostre istituzioni, ai nostri paesi di ritrovarci davvero molto uniti e molto orgogliosi della difesa di uno spazio così importante e vitale per gli europei, ma anche per i cittadini del mondo. Do la parola al Presidente del Consiglio, Charles Michel. Prego.
Merci beaucoup. Today is an exceptional day for the European Union, and today probably we have mixed feelings. It's never a happy moment when someone leaves, but we are opening a new chapter, and we will devote all our energy in building a stronger and more ambitious European Union. And indeed, yesterday, we had the occasion to have a strategic debate between the institutions in order to see how is it possible to have a better cooperation, but how is it possible to face the challenges, digital agenda, climate change, to make a new growth strategy. At the European level, I consider we have many strengths. We have strong values, strong freedoms, rule of law, 27 strong democracies, 22 million businesses, a big single market, a powerful single market, and I think that more than ever we have to think how is it possible to use more the tools we have, how is it possible to be more efficient, how is it possible to deliver more for the citizens, for all the European citizens. And I'm convinced that in the next months we will, Parliament, Commission and European Council, work closely together with common priorities, with a common political agenda, in order to be able to show again that this unique European project in the history is a very strong project and a very optimistic and very positive project for all the European citizens. I think also at the international level that we have many reasons to be more self-confident and more assertive, and we'll certainly also try to work together in order to deliver more also at this level. Sur le plan de la négociation maintenant qui va s'ouvrir avec la Grande-Bretagne, notre intention est bien sûr de s'inscrire dans une démarche de loyauté avec la Grande-Bretagne, comme nous l'avons toujours été tout au long des 3 dernières années, de responsabilité également. Et nous affirmons un message qui est extrêmement clair, simple et fort. Comme Union européenne, nous souhaitons, nous voulons garder la relation la plus étroite possible avec la Grande-Bretagne. Mais bien entendu, il nous appartient d'être clairs sur ce sujet. Au plus la Grande-Bretagne déciderait de diverger par rapport aux standards européens, au moins la Grande-Bretagne aura accès au marché intérieur. The more the UK will diverge from the EU standards, the less the access to the single market they will have. Il est très important, je pense, dans les prochains mois, d'être mobilisé avec Michel Barnier, qui a toute la confiance des États membres pour poursuivre le travail qui a été le sien tout au long des dernières années, qui a veillé à préserver cette unité entre les pays européens. Et je voudrais affirmer encore une fois que le Conseil européen sera mobilisé pour suivre de façon étroite, de façon proche, les développements dans cette négociation et sera disponible chaque fois que ce sera nécessaire pour exprimer les guidances utiles au fur et à mesure des développements en lien avec cette négociation. Je conclus en disant que cette journée est une journée exceptionnelle, hors du commun pour le projet européen, que nos sentiments sont mitigés, mais que ce qui domine chez moi certainement, c'est l'envie de considérer que l'important c'est de regarder l'avenir du projet européen, de travailler de façon forte, déterminée, énergique pour faire la démonstration que ces valeurs qui sont quelque part l'âme de ce projet européen et qui ont permis au siècle passé de rassembler celles et ceux qui s'étaient fait la guerre de manière tragique pour bâtir un espace de paix, de prospérité, puissent une fois encore se retrousser les manches ensemble et faire en sorte que l'on puisse délivrer des résultats qui soient perceptibles par l'ensemble des citoyens tout au long des prochaines années. Merci.
Yes, hello. Indeed, yesterday when we were at Bazoches, there was a very nice quote from Jean Monnet, who has said, "I'm not pessimistic, I'm not optimistic, I am determined." And I think it goes very nicely with the three of us joining forces. We're not optimistic, we're not pessimistic, we're determined. It was a very good retreat yesterday at Bazoches. We discussed indeed the matters that have been named, mainly also the digitalization and the European Green Deal. We know that digitalization is happening anyway, so we must harness it and we must shape it. We are convinced that technology sovereignty is consistent with an open market, and it means to build competitiveness with our values embedded in it. Same goes for the European Green Deal. We've been discussing the European Green Deal as our new growth strategy towards competitive sustainability. Europe is front runner in this topic, and it is not only our European mobilizing project, but it also requires that Europe leads in this topic as a global authority. And therefore, we thought that we know very well, as the sun rises tomorrow, a new chapter for our Union of 27 will start. And with it comes a once-in-a-generation opportunity to ensure that Europe leads the way on these two twin ecological and digital transformations. Indeed, tomorrow, almost half a century of the United Kingdom's membership in the European Union is over. And when the UK joined, I was still at school. We were 6 member states. Tomorrow we will be 27 member states. And during all these years, 47 plus years, our union has gained political impetus and has become a global economic powerhouse. Our experience has taught us that strength does not lie in splendid isolation, but in our unique union. Nowhere else in the world can you find 27 nations of 440 million people speaking 24 different languages, relying on each other, working together, living together. And this is not by accident or by chance. This is grounded in centuries of shared history, decades of shared experience, and a determination and confidence to shape our common future together. And let there be no doubt, the challenges that Europe faces and the opportunities that it can grasp have not changed because of Brexit. It is the climate change and the European Green Deal. It is being at the forefront of the digital revolution. It is managing migration in an effective and humane way. It is building strong partnerships across the globe. And as part of this, we want to have the best possible relationship with the United Kingdom, but it will never be as good as membership. Et oui, lundi, nous ouvrirons une nouvelle page de notre histoire. La Commission présentera sa proposition pour les négociations. Nous voulons le meilleur partenariat possible avec le Royaume-Uni, mais il est clair qu'il y aura toujours une différence. Appartenir à l'Union européenne compte. L'Union fait la force. Und deshalb ist der Tag morgen kein Ende, sondern er ist ein Anfang. Die nächsten Monate sind entscheidend für das künftige Verhältnis zwischen der Europäischen Union und dem Vereinigten Königreich. Wir wollen mit unseren britischen Freunden die engstmögliche Partnerschaft. Und gleichzeitig ist natürlich auch klar, dass Europa ganz entschlossen seine Interessen verteidigen wird. Großbritannien wird jetzt ein Drittstaat sein. Und für alle Drittstaaten gilt, nur wer die Regeln des Binnenmarktes anerkennt, kann auch den vollen Nutzen des gemeinsamen Marktes ziehen. Wir wollen gute Nachbarn sein, wir wollen gute Freunde sein und als gute Freunde können wir auch hart und fair verhandeln, weil wir ja eben einen ganz großen Fundus an Gemeinsamkeiten haben. Wir gehen in die Verhandlungen in dem Geist, dass wir Fairness und Berechenbarkeit für unsere Wirtschaft möchten. Wir wollen Sicherheit für unsere Menschen und wir wollen, dass für die jungen Menschen auf beiden Seiten des Kanals so viel Studienaustausch und gemeinsame Forschungsprojekte wie irgend möglich machbar sind. Und in anderen Worten, wir gehen in diese Verhandlungen in einem Geist, dass alte Freunde einen neuen Anfang suchen.
Merci beaucoup. Nous allons donc maintenant prendre quelques paroles. Comme toujours, je vous prie de vous présenter. Et si vous adressez la question à un des présidents en particulier, aussi de le faire savoir. Je pense qu'il y a des collègues avec des microphones pour faciliter aussi l'interprétation. Donc, on va commencer par M. Masdeu.
Hi, thank you. Jaume Masdeu from La Vanguardia in Spain. I have a couple of questions. One is a very practical one. It's just to know if you can guarantee that the rights of the European citizens in the United Kingdom will be guaranteed. And the second one is more general, is to have, how do you think that the balance of power, balance of influence, the alliance in the European Union will change after Brexit? Thank you.
So there is a very clear legal basis what the rights of the citizens is concerned. It is the withdrawal agreement. So this is something put in law between both sides. And therefore, I think we have found a very good solution for the citizens' rights, as well as the financial settlement, as well as for the topic of the island of Ireland. And what the power balance is concerned, we are a union of 27, and every member state has the same influence, has the same voice. This is the beauty of the European Union, and this will be the same in the future.
Okay, next question then. The lady, please. The second row. No. Here, please. Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm Sylvia Meyer from CNBC. My question is about yesterday's retreat. During the conversations you had yesterday, at any point did you discuss what lessons the EU should take from Brexit? Thank you.
Yeah, there is a very important point in our opinion. It's very essential in the future to take much more into consideration the expectations of the European citizens towards the European Union. It's also very important to explain what's the daily added value of this political project. And you are convinced with this strong political agenda. Look, in December, we took an important decision in the Council, and we had the proposal of the Commission European Green Deal. The digital transition is another one. In March, we'll have, with the leaders in the European Council, also the occasion to take strong decisions, to give strong orientation for the future. And these two challenges, digital agenda and climate change, these two transitions, these are occasions to bring the European citizens together, because on this topic I think we are all in the same boat, and it's very, very, very crucial to be able to demonstrate that we are able to deliver. And the Conference on the Future of Europe, we discussed also this topic yesterday, will be the occasion, we hope, to involve much more the citizens, because I think that for the future it's very essential to have a more bottom-up approach in order to build and to continue the building of this strong project.
Sì, la storia è nota, ma spesso la storia poi non finisce qui. Noi siamo convinti in questo momento che ci siano delle grandissime opportunità per l'Europa e le vogliamo sfruttare tutte. Quelle di rafforzare il più importante mercato economico del mondo, non solo per avere una primazia, ma per dimostrare che noi possiamo scommettere su un nuovo modello di sviluppo. Ed ecco perché la proposta del Green Deal ci dà una prospettiva di cambiamento del nostro modello di sviluppo, per consentire ai cittadini europei di avere più chance, ma nello stesso tempo all'Europa di diminuire le disuguaglianze. E poi la storia non certo finisce qui, perché noi abbiamo la consapevolezza, e questi 3 anni lo hanno dimostrato, vedo qui Michel Barnier con cui abbiamo lavorato in tutto questo tempo e certamente collaboreremo ancora in futuro, per dimostrare che far parte dell'Europa è una grande opportunità per tutti. Noi siamo convinti di una cosa, che nessun paese europeo rispetto alle sfide che ci sono potrebbe farcela da solo. Fate l'elenco di tutte le questioni che hanno i paesi europei, che fanno parte della cronaca che voi raccontate tutti i giorni, le grandi questioni: sicurezza, ambiente, economia, finanza, immigrazione. Quale problema un paese potrebbe affrontare da soli? Tutti hanno un risvolto globale. Ecco perché serve l'Europa. E siamo convinti che l'Europa sia l'assicurazione sulla vita di tutti e 27 i paesi. Ecco perché non vogliamo perdere questa occasione, ci siamo messi subito al lavoro per precisare una tabella di marcia che naturalmente in questi mesi si svilupperà tramite le iniziative della Commissione, del Consiglio e del Parlamento. Grazie.
Yes, I can underline each sentence, and I just want to add the experience we made over the last 3.5 years. First of all, it is the British people who decided. So, and this has to be respected. But within these 3.5 years of Brexit, there was a very precious experience made by the 27 of the European Union. This is the experience how much unity counts, how strong we are in unity, way more than by 27. It's way more than each single country would ever have on its own. And we made the experience how strong we are in defending our values, our interests, but also protecting our member state, Ireland. And therefore, this experience of being together and solving problems together was a valuable one. Even if, as I say, we regret the decision of the British people, but we respect it. And now we open another chapter. It's the story of old friends and new beginnings, as President Sassoli said. So we're looking forward to that in unity.
Next question. Yes, please, here, second row. Merci beaucoup.
Oui, Thomas Miglierina de la radio-télévision suisse. C'est surtout pour M. Michel. Vous avez convoqué les chefs d'État et des gouvernements de 27 le 20 février, première réunion après le Brexit. Serez-vous capable de montrer aux gens que pensent que le Brexit, c'est le début de la fin de l'Union européenne qui se trompe?
Ce qui est certain, c'est qu'il y a une très grande détermination des chefs d'État et de gouvernement au sein du Conseil européen pour appréhender les sujets que l'on doit traiter. Et effectivement, on sait que le débat sur le prochain budget européen est un débat qui n'est pas simple, qui est difficile sur le plan de la négociation, mais il n'y a pas que cela. Au travers de ce débat-là, il y a la question de savoir quels sont les moyens que l'on mobilise pour relever tous les défis que l'on a évoqués. Et c'est assez remarquable quand je regarde la situation aujourd'hui, c'est qu'il me semble que dans le passé, très rarement on a eu cette situation où les planètes se mettent dans le même sens, dans la mesure où Parlement, Commission, Conseil, on a le même agenda politique, on a la même conviction. Et j'ai la certitude que cette ambition climatique, cette ambition digitale, cette exigence de parler plus fort et d'être plus efficace sur la scène internationale, c'est l'occasion pour l'Union européenne, avec 27 États membres forts, l'état de droit, des valeurs qui sont solides, non seulement de promouvoir nos valeurs à l'extérieur et à l'intérieur de l'Union européenne, mais aussi davantage demain de défendre nos intérêts. Nous avons des intérêts à défendre parce que derrière ces intérêts, il y a la vie quotidienne de nos citoyens européens. Notre responsabilité, c'est de défendre les intérêts au service des citoyens européens. Et notre responsabilité aussi, c'est peut-être de travailler pour faire en sorte que l'Europe soit plus et mieux aimée des citoyens européens, qu'il y ait plus d'affection pour le projet européen. Et pour cela, on doit, je pense, être au plus près des préoccupations, essayer de lutter en permanence contre le jargon, contre toutes les formes de bureaucratie pénalisante, et montrer que l'Europe a les idées claires. L'Europe a les idées claires. Agenda digital, Green Deal, sécurité, défendre nos libertés, défendre nos valeurs. Nous avons les idées claires. Et ça ne suffit pas d'avoir les idées claires. Encore faut-il une méthode de travail. C'est ce que nous avons discuté notamment hier pour mettre en œuvre ces projets à court, moyen et long terme.
On continue alors au fond de la salle, Bruno Waterfield.
Bruno Waterfield, Times of London. A lot of what you're saying about the future of Europe, Mr. Sassoli, it sounds to me very much like the Larkin Declaration back in 2001, and that project ended not with the Brits, but in the ballot boxes of the Netherlands and of France. How do you know that's not going to happen again? Mr. Michel, we've heard a lot about unity today, but the next summit of European leaders, when they try and plug the gap left by Brexit in European finances, is going to be anything but unified. Isn't it going to send completely the wrong message to the world?
No, non c'è niente di analogo con il passato. Noi siamo convinti che sia necessario coinvolgere i cittadini per avere più forza per guardare il futuro dell'Europa. E non abbiamo nessuna intenzione di promuovere vecchie formule. Vogliamo una conferenza dove ci siano soprattutto al centro i cittadini, la società civile, tutto quello che riguarda la società civile, il mondo del lavoro, le università, i giovani, i parlamenti nazionali, i nostri territori, e vogliamo ragionare con loro e aprire un grande dibattito per dimostrare non solo la vitalità dell'Europa, ma soprattutto per avere uno sguardo per il futuro. Poi naturalmente abbiamo anche alcuni temi da discutere che fanno parte della governance europea. In questa conferenza si parlerà liberamente, ma non c'è nessun riferimento a vecchi modelli del passato. Adesso siamo convinti che potremmo far partire questa esperienza nel mese di maggio, e quindi abbiamo la necessità di una dichiarazione congiunta fra le tre istituzioni, e da quella, naturalmente, quella sarà la base di partenza di questa avventura che ci accompagnerà un po' per tutta la legislatura. Noi siamo all'inizio ancora della legislatura, e questa musica che vogliamo suonare insieme ai cittadini, sarà la musica di una Europa certamente orgogliosa, ma che saprà indicare e definire meglio il proprio sguardo per il futuro.
unity is never easy, and it requires permanent effort. It requires also more confidence. But again, I feel a common political will more and more to work together and to guarantee the European unity. And look, the recent 3 years, everybody thought that it would not be possible to keep the unity in the first phase of these negotiations with the UK. And we kept the unity because there was a stronger, higher level of confidence between the member states, because there was this guarantee for more transparency between the member states, which is crucial if we would like to guarantee unity. It's also, for me, a lesson for the future, point one. And the next European budget, on the contrary, I think it's a very strong signal, the fact that we will be together in the next weeks in order to discuss how is it possible to give the right answers for more European convergence, for our farmers, for Erasmus, for the possibility to have more investments in our infrastructures, for the Green Deal, for the digital agenda. It's a very strong and also a very clear signal that we give. And again, I think in the Council, but also with the other institutions, we have to work day after day in order to strengthen day after day the confidence, the transparency between the member states. It's the best way to guarantee the unity, and it means more unity, that we are stronger, that we are more efficient each time you are able to guarantee this unity between us.
The next question now here, please. First row. Ici, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you. Adam Parsons from Sky News. I wonder whether I could ask all of you to give a quick personal reflection on what you think the European Union is losing today when the United Kingdom finally disappears from the political European stage.
Well, within the Union, we are losing a former member that was very pragmatical, very down-to-earth, very clear in the economic agenda. It was not always easy, but all 27 are not always easy, but a friend and member with whom we shared, as I said, a lot of history and a lot of experience. So now it's the choice of the British people to be on their own, and we respect it, but we will stay neighbours. And it's up to us now, and the three of us are determined, together with our institutions, and I know on the other side of the channel it's the same, that we want to negotiate the best possible agreement, because if we look at the long term, we have so much in common what challenges are concerned. It is security, it is common economic interests. We have a very intertwined economic market. We are very close together. It's the big challenges of our planet. So we have a lot in common, and I think it's worth to prove the world that you can be neighbours but work very, very closely together, and that's the endeavour we're moving to. There are subtopics which we have always been clear to, that there is a difference of being a member state in the common market or not being a member state, but we're moving on to new shores.
Okay, I think that we will take maybe two more questions. Yes, please, at the back of the room again. Yeah, you. Sorry.
Hello, Marko Subotic from Al Jazeera Balkans. Question, what this day means for the countries which wants to become the members of the EU, how the changes you are talking about for the euro will affect the enlargement process, and do you think that in one day one of the countries from the Balkans, such as Serbia, Montenegro, could sit in that empty chair, British chair?
Ma io ho incontrato qui questa settimana i presidenti dei parlamenti dei Balcani occidentali. È stata la prima riunione tutti insieme al Parlamento europeo e credo che per tutti sia stata una buona occasione per non solo cominciare un dialogo fra istituzioni, in questo caso i parlamenti, ma anche per ragionare sul futuro. Voi sapete che i processi di adesione sono fissati, hanno delle regole. Ci auguriamo che il processo di adesione dell'Albania e della Macedonia del Nord possa cominciare. Per il Parlamento europeo questo è noto, questo processo poteva già cominciare. Naturalmente abbiamo bisogno soprattutto di confronto, di dialogo, di metterci insieme, perché tante sfide ai nostri confini riguardano tutti. Problemi economici, problemi sociali, problemi della nostra sicurezza. E credo che l'esperienza che abbiamo fatto qui al Parlamento europeo con i presidenti di tutti i paesi dei Balcani occidentali sia stata davvero importante. C'è una osservazione che vorrei fare, anche riprendendo la domanda che prima il Signore ha rivolto un po' a tutti noi. C'è una domanda fondamentale di questi 3 anni che vi invito anche voi a rispondere. Ma perché tutti ci vogliono dividere? Perché tutti si impegnano così tanto per dividere lo spazio europeo? È la domanda delle domande in questo momento, perché anche nei nostri paesi alcuni temperamenti cercano di fare sponda a questa iniziativa di forze, di poteri che cercano di rendere più fragile l'Unione Europea. Ma per quale motivo? Noi siamo il più importante spazio economico del mondo, ma abbiamo una fissazione, ce l'hanno insegnata anche i nostri amici britannici e di questo noi gli siamo grati, che questa dimensione noi la vogliamo regolata, perché con le regole si vive meglio e si difendono anche i più deboli. E invece quando non ci sono regole sono solo i più forti che prevalgono. E noi europei siamo fatti così. Ma c'è qualcuno che vorrebbe dividerci perché forse ha paura di un mondo regolato. Fatevela questa domanda, date le vostre risposte, naturalmente non ce n'è una sola. Però credo che in questo momento, in questa domanda e nella risposta che noi saremo in grado di dare, c'è l'importanza dell'Unione Europea, non solo per la vita dei cittadini europei, ma per un mondo globale che non ha regole, che deve trovare regole, in cui l'Unione Europea vuole contribuire a dare regole. Perché senza regole, lo ripeto, i più deboli saranno esclusi e i più forti la faranno da padrone e l'Unione Europea questo non lo vuole.
Davide?
Excellent.
On a juste une dernière question qu'on va pouvoir prendre, donc c'est vous aussi, s'il vous plaît. Yeah. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Bonjour, journaliste de la chaîne Phoenix Télévision de Chine. Ma question est s'adresser à 3 présidents. Et avec une Europe sans Angleterre, comment l'Europe continue à travailler avec la Chine? Et comment l'Europe envisage le coronavirus maintenant en Chine, s'il vous plaît? Merci.
L'Union européenne a son propre agenda positif tourné vers l'avenir. La Grande-Bretagne a fait un choix, c'est le choix de la Grande-Bretagne et ça ne nous empêche pas, que du contraire, d'être mobilisés pour préparer l'avenir. Et nous aurons cette année-ci 2 sommets importants avec la Chine au cours desquels on pourra définir nos priorités dans la relation Union européenne-Chine. Nous pensons que l'agenda climatique doit être une question centrale dans la relation entre l'Union européenne et la Chine. C'est très cohérent avec ce que nous avons indiqué. Et nous pensons aussi qu'il faut tenter d'obtenir un accord efficace en termes d'investissement pour faire en sorte que l'on puisse garantir beaucoup plus de level playing field et faire reculer toutes les formes de dumping qui font du mal à l'Union européenne. Et le message qui a été donné il y a quelques instants par le président Sassoli va exactement dans cette direction-là. Nous sommes totalement convaincus que l'Union européenne, chaque fois que nous sommes rassemblés, unis, chaque fois que nous avons les idées claires et que nous partageons la même méthode pour prendre ensemble des décisions, nous sommes une force politique, nous sommes une force économique, nous portons des valeurs de dignité personnelle qui sont très centrales et qui fondent ce projet européen. Et c'est au travers de cela que nous allons envisager notre relation avec la Chine.
Yes, and I want to sum up too. If you look at the enlargement process, well, you see that the beauty of the European Union is indeed that nobody has been forced to join the European Union. All came voluntarily. And even more so, they tried very, very hard to come closer and closer to the European Union. And behind it is the fact that the European Union represents, like no other region of the world, the rule of law, the protection of the dignity of every single person. It's because of our history and the experiences we made. It's not only a common market. Yes, it's a powerful common market, but not only that. This is more. It's values that unify us, and therefore we have many countries who knock at the door and want to come closer to the European Union. And this is good so, because they are choosing a certain, not only economic, but also political model they want to join. And therefore this European Union indeed has been criticized a lot. Indeed, a lot of people want it to be faster and more visible. Yes, that may be, but in the very end, if you look at the long lines, if you look what the European Union has achieved over the last 75 years, if you look at the unity it brought to a continent that was torn apart by division before that, if you look at the standards and the rule of law, as you said, the rules, but behind the rules are values, values that we export to the world. If you look at all that, we can be proud of this European Union, and we can be assured that it's worth to do everything we can do to protect it and to make it thrive and grow. Thank you.
Grazie. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup à tous.
Brava.
unattended